is Sukin, right? Oh, hi. I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to get off myself. I did the other program. How are you?
Lisa.
Yeah. Doing well. We can have, well, we're going to have Lisa sit up here, and then however you guys want to sit, that's fine. Yeah. One of the, yeah, because she's got to mic everybody up. We're going to go live in about 2 minutes. 11:30. We go live 11:30. Hey, baby. How are you? Y'all say that. It's all good.
Okay. We got to get
Sunday, everyone. Welcome back to Unheard Voices, Ellen Foundation. I am your host every second Sunday here at Fox Wave. Pam Price, I'm the CEO of Ellen Foundation. Thank you for always watching and just checking in with us to see what's going on in our community. Please join the conversation by dialing in 240-719-2560. Gosh, I can't believe it's September already. And just a reminder, while you're out there, remember school's in. Be very, very careful as you're driving around and about. Yesterday we had such a great event at Iverson Mall. I want to thank everybody that came out. We were able to help. I believe it was over just about 300 students with backpacks, and we had just such a phenomenal time. Thank you to the Rise Coalition for help putting that together. And on a personal note, this is nothing with Vox Wave, but I just want to kind of share my thoughts on this Nike thing. I firmly believe that the law allows everybody to speak their mind, speak their piece. It's in our Constitution that we have a right to organize or do whatever we need to, share what our thoughts are. And this thing about with Nike, how people are so upset, burning their sneakers. And there was one where I saw a man that burned his sneakers with himself in them. Like really? But at the end of the day, everybody's entitled to their opinion. So I just want to put something out there to give people some thoughts. We as a community, in watching this Nike thing, how people have come together to protest against, Nike and using Colin Kaepernick. But where are these people in protest of, the priests that are out there molesting our children, the school systems in the United States, which are falling apart? Our babies aren't even safe in school nowadays. Where are these people that are protesting? I just want to give my thoughts on there, and just to give you something to think about as well. We have so many things going on and what we're protesting, but are we really protesting something that is so meaningful to us? What happened to our community? Just my thoughts. Don't be mad at me, but just my thoughts here. But so I just want to introduce these lovely queens that are here with me. They are no strangers to Unheard Voices, especially this one right here. They are women. I want to give it words from wise women. That's right. I just want to make sure I get it right. Here's the founder right here, Ms. Zinnia Grimes. You know what? Wait till I tell you what happened yesterday after the Iverson event. You're going to laugh at me. So Zinnia Grimes, I apologize for pronouncing her name incorrectly. She's just such a lovely visionary. These queens here are out there on the grind every day, making sure our community is taken care of. Zinnia has a background in early education, about 22 years, is that correct? And she's also worked with over 250 preschool students and getting them mentored and ready for, that next level. But what these ladies are also about, they also make sure the homeless are taken care of and making sure that they are the homeless have somewhere to go. We want to make sure the homeless are off the street, and it breaks my heart, especially when I go down to D.C., that there's so many homeless people out there. But I'm going to let Ms. Zinnia, introduce the rest of these ladies because their work is fantastic. Welcome again, lovely.
Yes, welcome. Thank you so much, Pam, for having us on today. Yes, I am Zinnia Grimes. Most people know me as Lisa Grimes. I am the founder of Words from Wise Women Ministry. And this is my sister here, right here. This is Pastor Christina. Say hi. Hi. And then I have Pastor Yvette. I'm sorry, I have Pastor Yvette
all right.
here.
That's okay.
And then I have Minister Tracy. here.
Morning.
Yes, and then we have Sister Inga Robinson. That is Deaconess Inga Robinson. Say hello, Inga.
Hello.
Well, I welcome you, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
And I just want to talk about the work that you guys are doing. I believe it's 2,900 homeless people that you've helped transition from off the streets into home. Is that number still correct?
Yeah, the number is higher now, but actually what we do is we do not actually transition them off the streets because a number of people are homeless.
Yes.
However, a number of them are not homeless, and what we do is we serve the homeless. We serve the homeless by feeding them, and we assist them. You know, I call it from bed to building. We help them coming from the bedroom to the building to the workplace, coming from being unemployed to being employed. That's what we assist with.
So, how did you ladies all come together?
Okay, well, I had a dream, and my dream was basically, it was a dream that I had, and I shared it with my former pastor, and he said that this was, I'm supposed to start a women's ministry. And I'm like, me start a women's ministry? Are you serious? So I just said, okay, then, well, this is what God told me to do. I'm going to do it. So I started a women's ministry. I started in my home. And when I started my home,
I know the story.
She likes this story, but
she's been with me on my radio program, so I know the story. So when she first, I'm going to have to introduce. Thank goodness we were on the radio.
Yes.
Because when she was telling me the story, I was just like, what? So, but it's funny, and it's nothing but God's gift that created. So I don't mean to interrupt you.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I just believe when you tell the truth, you shame the devil.
Absolutely.
And as women of God, you just don't become a woman of God by not going through anything. So when I started this ministry, I started in my home, and I was hesitant. Only reason why I was hesitant is because I had roaches. Some of y'all have roaches too, and y'all probably still have them, and it's okay. I'll hook you up with a good exterminator that will come to your house and remove those roaches like they was removed out of my home. But anyway, I was hesitant about starting because of the roaches. But God told me that He created the roaches, and He will keep those roaches in their rightful place after these women leave my home. So I started in my home, and basically, I had women to come and share their testimonies, their stories, their trials, and their triumphs. And the purpose of me doing that is because our mantra is each one teach one through our testimony, so others will know it is hope for their situation. No one has to stay stuck in their situation. I don't care where you have come from in life or where you are currently in life, you do not have to stay in that place. And because I came from such a dysfunctional childhood, I was molested at the early age of 3. There was incest. My parents were on drugs. Real story. When the crack epidemic hit the DMV, it hit my household. So it hit all the family members in my home except for myself. I went through neglect. I went through going to school because I had I had a family that worked. So my parents were functioning addicts. If you've seen them, even my friends in my neighborhood never knew that my parents were on drugs. I always went to school dressed nice. I didn't have all the name brand stuff, but I always presented myself accordingly.
Right, you were clean.
Yeah, I was clean. Nobody knew. My very best friend never knew until I turned about 38, and I shared it with my very best friend. So no one knew. And so because of the things I went through parents working to us, going on family vacations. Although we were doing those things, it was still dysfunction, okay? You can mask a whole bunch of stuff by going on vacations, looking a certain way, having the mask on. However, it was dysfunctional. So we were functioning in dysfunction. However, when the crack epidemic hit, everything started happening. Cars were being repossessed. Gas was getting cut off. I wasn't getting school supplies for school. I wasn't, we had food. I always had food. You know, I'm a big girl. I made sure I had something to eat now. Made sure we had something to eat. However, you know, things weren't the same. Things were changing. And, you know, like I said, cars were being repossessed. We never lost our home. However, we were operating in dysfunction. And so with my story, and then I went through things even in my marriage, I went through domestic violence, you know, and things like that. And I just realized that, you know, I know it's other women that's going through the same thing, but they don't have to stay stuck because I didn't stay stuck.
Right.
I triumphed over all of those obstacles that I faced in my life. And with me doing it, I said I know of some other women, so I wanted to set a platform where women could come and be free, and they can be set free. They can hear other women, just not my story, but all these other women's stories, and feel that maybe I can connect with this sister. Maybe I can connect with that sister. Maybe something that Sister Tracy been through, maybe she can help me. And that's how Words of Wise Women all started. It started with just hurting women, but we also help hurting men. We help hurting children. And not only that, that's when God led me to start serving the homeless. So we started going out, serving the homeless in D.C. We started out first, me and Sister Inga went down to the Mitch Snyder. It was the Mitch Snyder homeless shelter. And we just gave out hats, gloves, and scarves. Yes. And I had my little daughter with me passing out candy canes. And that's where it started.
How long has the ministry been?
The ministry has been, we just celebrated our 9th year anniversary in May.
Congratulations.
Yes, 9 years. However, we started serving the homeless, I'm going to say 6 years ago. We started serving the homeless 6 years ago.
Now, if someone wants to come out and help you, how do they reach out to you that want to serve?
Oh, yeah, basically, we all, well, not all of us, but some of us are members of, we are the Fellowship Center, which is located in Beltsville, Maryland, 4715 Selman Road, Suite D, and that's in Beltsville, Maryland. You can also reach us by our Words from Wise Women page. It's Words from Wise Women Facebook page, or you can visit our Words from Wise Women, www.wordsfromwisewomen.com, our website, or you can contact me via cell 240-593-7529. If you would like to reach out, if you would like to come serve with us, that's what you can do. And if you need help, and Tracy Palmer here, she has her own ministry. Tracy is from Delaware, so she's making this thing global for us. I met Tracy over a year ago in Delaware. We connected, and she said, I want to be a part of this. But Tracy also does the same things up in Delaware through Tracy Palmer Ministries.
So I had the pleasure, these two ladies were on my radio program last year, about this time last year.
Yep, right? It was in October. It was in October because I had on my Ugg boots.
Yeah, about this time. And these ladies have been such a joy to be a part of. But I had the pleasure of meeting Minister Tracy a couple of weeks ago at our women's ministry. And her testimony was just phenomenal. Our women's conference was, about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago.
About 2 weeks ago. And tell y'all, brain just busy. And so it was fantastic. We had Miss Moret come out, Miss Moret Brown-Clark, who was our host, and we had Miss Cheryl Wood as one of our speaker, and actually I had to jump in there and be a speaker because one of our other speakers became ill. But with Tracy, she had her book there, and out of the blue, I mean, we made space for her to come up and share her story, because her story is so phenomenal. And as Xenia was mentioning, sometimes we just continue to function. We function in our dysfunction. And her story, Miss Tracy, Tracy, thank you for driving in. I don't know if you were already in the area this weekend, but just share a little bit of what you're doing as well with these queens.
So my name is Minister Tracy Palmer. I'm from Dover, Delaware, and I also have Tracy Palmer Ministries, and I am the author of Surviving with Purpose. Surviving with Purpose is a testament to my testimony. Again, I too came from a dysfunctional marriage. My mother married at 14, had me at 14, married to my father, who was 4 years older than her. And everything in that marriage was dysfunctional. And pretty much I witnessed a lot of it for the first 3 years of my life. Growing up and going through life, realizing that a lot of the dysfunction that I witnessed at a very young age, I found myself attracted to those same dysfunctions. So that's a little bit about that. If you want the book, go to www.com, www.tracypalmerministries, and you can get the book from there. The other thing is I've been doing food ministry over in Dover, Delaware, Kent County, Delaware, and we feed the homeless. My church is Victory Church. My pastor is Overseer Mark Harmon over in Dover, Delaware. We feed the homeless people from Victory 7 days a week, 2 meals a day, 365 days a year.
Amen.
Amen.
We meet them at the library. We have a van that picks them up. We take bag lunches to them. We'll take them to the church. We have evening services. We used to have evening services for them. Now we're just doing Bible study. So we do that over in Delaware. And then I also partnered with the Delaware Mobile Food Pantry, and we also do community outreach with feeding families. They get a chicken, a box of perishable items. They get fruits, vegetables, everything that they would get at a grocery store, they also get at the mobile food pantry as well. And we set up at different locations. I'll pick a location, set it up with the food pantry. They'll come out. We'll get forms filled out, and I've had a very successful turnout doing that, and I've been doing that for the past 8 years.
Amen. So that's awesome. And it's much needed. And I'm a firm believer, if we don't take care of our community, who else will?
Yes.
I know there's a bigger, somebody that wants to take care of the community, but are they really taking care of our community? So, Deacon what is it? Inga. Whew, gosh, can't get that out. So now you've been really involved with the homeless, and what else are you involved in doing there as well?
Well, I'm a deacon of my church, and we believe that ministry starts outside the walls of the church. That's where the real ministry starts.
Yes.
The salvation piece is within the church, but there are a lot of people who will never come into the doors of the church, but they still need to see Jesus.
Yeah.
And the best way to show Jesus is in the works that we do. And so Words for Wise Women is one of those vehicles that will go out and do the work that God said. He asked us to go out and feed my hungry. When you do that unto them, you do it as unto me.
Right.
So we really strongly believe in going out and serving the homeless, not just the homeless, but we have a mom's ministry, which Pastor Yvette Clark heads up, and we help these young women with children to raise their children. It's kind of a Naomi and Ruth effect, but how do you know how to raise a child when you are a child yourself? But the women of the church, these wise women, not because we're so necessarily wise, but what it is that we have a testimony. Sometimes you see us when we're all dressed up and we've maybe conquered one thing, and no one knows what you've been through. But you have a story. And so some of us may have been young mothers. Some of us just have a maternal instinct that we say, you know what, I can go out and I have a nurturing instinct that I can go out and I can do this. That's my gift. And so we help these women, and they have the support so they know that they can be the mom that they want to be. They want to be good mothers.
Yes.
They love their children. And so we break down barriers, stereotypes about young women having babies. We go out and do backpacks. A lot of children that go to school without supplies.
Right.
And it's important that they start school right, that they start school feeling that they're equipped to do the job. It's hard to catch up once you get
behind.
Yes.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly. We not only do that, but we're also thinking that thanks to Lisa, we call her Lisa, but Xenia, is that a lot of these children need to go make sure when they go to school their first day that they're not hungry.
Yes.
And so we send also food for them, an entire dinner for them, so that entire family has a good meal. When they go to school the next day, they're not sitting there with their stomachs hurting, and they haven't had a good meal, so they can't concentrate on that day.
And that's important.
It's very, very important. And we do it in a meaningful way, not just throw things into the bag, but we ask them, what is it a female or male? What is the grade that they're in? And we pack these bags according to what grade they're going to, so we know exactly what's required on that list when the school. So it's not they get a bag of paper and a box of crayons, and there's your backpack. They get disk drives. They get pencils, they get pens, they get all the things that they need, composition books and things like that they're required to have when they go to school. Also, Christmas, we make sure we call it Tree of Plenty.
Right. Mm-hmm.
No child should wake up Christmas morning and not have what they want, not have what they need on Christmas morning. It's something that we can fulfill. There are a lot of people in the community and within our church that have a giving spirit. And so we ask, what do they need? What do these children need for Christmas? And we go out and we buy them. We don't buy just small things. They get bikes. They get computers. They, really meaningful Christmas gift, clothing, shoes, things that they would, those lasting effects. You don't know how that mother and father may have prayed, saying, I don't know how we're going to make it. We have food, but we cannot afford to give you those types of things for Christmas. But they will come and we'll deliver those bags to them. And it's meaningful to our heart for it to happen. And the list goes on and on and on. Wherever there's a need, we try to make sure that we can fulfill it. And I was just blessed to be a part of the vision that God gave Xenia, when she first said, look, this is a dream I had, and I'm going to go forth with this. And I'm all here. I believe in that vision, and let's make that happen along with the other wonderful women. We meet women from all over. It's just not women within our church. Anyone that has a heart to give, anyone that has a heart to do this, they're welcome to come. Men and women. We have men that come out, and they have their T-shirts on too, and they come out and they help us. But not only that, the homeless. I want to say this too. The homeless react to the fact that we treat them like people. We treat them like members of the community.
And it makes them feel good.
Yes.
It does. We look at them. We're not looking through them.
Right. Yes.
So we talk to them. They know us when we come. Hey, you remember me. I always will remember that. The first day, one of the little ladies came up. She says, do you remember me? I said, I definitely do remember you. She said, she remembers me. Because she had a name and she had a face, and she wasn't some person that we look through, somebody transparent in the community. And often we go past them as if they don't exist on the street. So they come, they know the routine. They come, they help us set up. We have tables. We give them hot food. We give them real food. We give it to them in containers like a to-go box. We give them utensils. We treat them like people. We treat them like the citizens that they are. And they are somebody.
Right.
Yes.
And so regardless of what the world makes them feel like, the moment that we're there, we want to let them know that they are somebody and they're somebody important. They open in prayer. We get them to pray. They know the Lord. Many of them know the Lord.
They do. Yes. They do.
If you ask them where they go to church, they'll tell us they're a member of our church.
See, and that's awesome. The work that you guys are really putting back in because you care.
Yeah, that's it.
And it makes it easier to go out and do the work because you care. And when you come upon, these people who are hurting, who are hungry, who just need someone to talk to, they can tell the difference. They can tell the difference if you're just out there, putting your community service hours in versus you're down there, hey,
we're doing it with a motive. Doing it with a motive. We don't do anything but a motive.
And Pam, I want to say too that what we discovered was that many of those people are not homeless. They're hungry.
They're hungry.
There are a lot of people that go to work every day
and they're hungry.
Yeah. They make just enough to try to have a whole roof over their head, but they're hungry. And so a lot of them come just looking for food for the until their next day.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, Pam, have mental illnesses, and so they are receiving benefits from the state. And I know when my grandmother, rest her soul, when she was alive, although she worked and she didn't have a mental illness, her Social Security basically basically just covered the cost of her housing expenses. And all they provided to her was $10 in food stamps. What does $10 in food stamps really do?
Yeah.
Milk, eggs, and bread. And she was a
If
diabetic.
that.
You know what? If that. You're absolutely right.
Depending on where
When
you
you go,
live.
exactly.
You know, because
Yeah.
if you live
You're
up
right.
in Montgomery
Sorry,
County,
I'm thinking
yeah.
back then.
Oh, yeah,
That was
right.
back then in the 90s. Not in the 2000s. Not
No,
in the
probably in
millennium.
the 80s.
Yeah,
probably.
you're right. You're right. But I'm just saying, so these people, like Inga stated, a lot of them are not homeless.
They're hungry.
They're
They
hungry.
need
They just
something.
and they come and they're wanting something, and it's our goal to make sure that regardless of whatever the situation is, we're just here to serve you. Because guess what? If we don't have those people to come out, Pam, we have no one to serve.
Yes.
So I'm telling them thank you,
Yeah.
as they're telling us thank you.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Pastor Christina, how about you just share how you became involved? I know we're just going to run just
Okay.
probably a little bit longer on this segment here.
Okay, I'll do it quickly. I want to say maybe into the second year into Words from Wise, I joined. I didn't join right off. I had to, have a feel of what I really wanted to do. I've always wanted to feed the homeless. I am starting my own catering business, actually launching it. Right? October 13th
Yes.
is
the
going to
launch?
be
What's
the
the
launch.
name?
It is called May's Southern Cuisine.
Oh.
Yes.
So I will be launching it, but this ministry gave me the opportunity to actually feed them. And I'm going to be honest, a little scared to do May's Southern Cuisine because I think of it as just a big, something that's going to come up and am I going to be able to do it and all that. And I was reading something and it told me to just do it. Do it afraid, but just do
Yes.
it.
Yes.
So that's what I'm standing on. But the ministry has given me the opportunity, and I've been doing it for a while. But now I'm really going to go out and do it.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
exciting.
Yes.
That's exciting.
Stepping out food.
Yes, I am
Yes.
also.
Food tasting.
Yes, that's the 13th.
That's
October
the 13th.
13th.
Really?
No,
October
seriously,
13th.
yes.
Yes.
Mark that down.
down.
Yes,
Yes,
October
yes,
13th. I'm also a survivor of domestic violence. I was one of those teenagers running around fighting, and it came from, of course, dysfunction in the family and thinking that this is the norm. Also, I was a victim of incest when I was 6. But by the grace of God, he blocked it from me for 25 years. So it wasn't until I had my son that it started coming out. And I know that was the enemy too. But it allowed me to function. But, of course, I was dysfunctioning. And having this, I guess this mindset of what a relationship was supposed to be.
Yes.
But by the grace of God, I'm a conqueror of both.
Amen.
And even through the incest part, I was able to talk to my brother. Yes, it was my brother. And we talk about Christ. And I brought him to Christ.
Yes.
Yes.
So I know God can do the miraculous. And
Yes,
in
he
me,
can.
he has done it.
Yes.
Amen.
So I'm thankful.
Amen.
I'm excited about
Amen.
that. Again, congratulations
Thank
for
you.
opening and just
Yes.
moving forward. And I
Yes.
know when you're stepping out on faith and
That's it.
in faith,
That's
because you
it.
got to have both,
Mm-hmm.
it can be scary.
Yes.
So
Yes.
just stay encouraged through this process. I can't wait to taste the food.
Yes.
And Pastor Yvette, how did you get involved with this here, with these lovely queens as well?
Yes, definitely lovely queens. And so I wasn't necessarily there in the beginning. I knew about Words from Wise Women. I heard all of what Minister Lisa was doing. But then I'm pastor over evangelism. And so Words from Wise Women came within the Fellowship Center under evangelism. And, I just keep going back to that scripture that says, write the vision and make it plain so
Yes.
those that read it will run with it. And so I started to see up front and personally the impact that Words from Wise Women was making. I was like, wow, they're consistently going out to serve the homeless. And when I finally went out, I'm like, wow, hugs were being given, and folks were just singing along with us, singing gospel songs. I mean, it was amazing. I was like, wow, who knew that such an experience could be like this?
Right.
And the one thing that really resonated with me is our women empowerment that we do. every quarter we do quarterly women empowerment where we have a guest speaker to come and to share her testimony. And the things that people share is absolutely amazing. It's about people getting over the hurts and the habits and the struggles that we've been through. And it's not easy because we wear the mask.
Right.
You know, we wear a lot of it. We come to the church dressed up and we look nice and hair done up and we got the makeup on, but you don't know the hurt that people are going through.
That's right.
Underneath it. I remember even as a little girl, as we talk about serving the homeless, I remember there being no food. When I say no food, I mean 0 food in my home. We didn't even have bread. We didn't even have a box of tea. When you open up the cabinets, when you open up the refrigerator, there was absolutely nothing. And I remember saying to myself, I don't want ever for another family to have to go through the things that I went through. Similar to these young ladies, too, I've had family members who were on crack cocaine when they hit the 80s. And so my family went through. But the one thing that I remember was that there was always love. Like, regardless of what transpired, man, they say love covers a multitude of sin. I tell you, it really did. And so that empowerment piece is just so important because we want to be able to make sure that we touch people and we reach them right where they are. We meet them right where they are. When we talk about people coming to church, we should expect for them to come as they are.
Yes.
Right.
You can't, you know, a lot of times people say, well, when I get myself together, I'm going to come. No, because you're never going to get there.
Just come as you are.
Yes, we want folks to come as they are, and the testimonies, and then when people hear different testimonies, then they start opening up. We have a pajama party that we're going on our 3rd year doing. It is amazing now. There's so many women who have never been to a pajama party, so we're coming out with onesies and our silk pajamas, and we have a great time. And I remember someone saying, wow, they dancing to Mary J. Blige. Like, what is this? Like, I didn't know you can do that in the church. People don't believe that in the church you can have fun, that you can enjoy yourself in the Lord. And so, you know, I'm always reminded to a scripture that says, the thief comes to steal and kill and destroy. But I came that they may have life and have it more abundantly. And that's what we want for the women. You know, we really want that. And with the work that I do, even at work, I work with a nonprofit organization. We work with foster care kids and kinship care kids and domestic violence. We do domestic violence training throughout the county. And so this all made sense. And it's amazing to know that everywhere you go, you can do ministry. You can do ministry on your job. You can do ministry in your home. You can do ministry in the grocery store. You can do ministry. And so, like Deacon Inga said, it's not just ministry inside the church building. We're trying to get folks to get outside of the walls of the church and know that we are walking evangelists everywhere we go. And so that's the thing that really resonates with me and resonates with my heart, and why I appreciate these queens so much, because they allow people to come and just be authentic and to be unapologetically you. And that's what we want people to do. We want people to take off the mask, wear the righteousness that God has given us, walk in the grace that He's given us, the favor that He's given us, because, you know, we're not perfect, and we're never going to be perfect on this side of glory. But we want folks to be able to be healed, and we want folks to be able to come together. And that old kind of adage, like, oh, women, they don't get along, they fight. We want to dispel that. We want to dispel that. Yes, we can come together as women and encourage each other and empower each other. And so that's one of the things that I love most about Words from Wise Women.
I appreciate you ladies here. You guys are just so awesome. And the reason I do call you queens is because that's who we are. And that's a powerful crown that we wear, and how we need to walk in that. Because as a queen, so many people look up to us on what we're doing and how we're presenting ourselves. I mean, I can get crazy like the next person, but at the end of the day, I know who God has called me to be. And that's the most important piece, is that as a queen, you know who you've been called to be. So I appreciate it. So really quick, and then we're going to take a quick break, and then I have my second guest coming in, Miss Wanda Washington, and she's from His Royal Daughters Ministry. So just really quick, one more time, how people can get in touch with you.
You all can get in touch with Words from Wise Women through our Words from Wise Women Facebook page, Words from Wise Women, or you can contact me on my VSL 240-593-7529. You may call me or text, as well as reaching us through our website. We have 2 websites, and one website is our church, which is We Are the Fellowship Center, www.wearethefellowship.org. wearetfc.org or www.wordsfromwisewomen.com. And also, Tracy, if you're in Delaware.
If you're in Delaware, I can be reached at www.tracypalmerministries.com or via my cell 302-270-3690 or via Facebook, Tracy Palmer Ministries.
I'm excited. I know you have an event next weekend.
Yes, yes.
I got to tell you the truth. So yesterday we had our event at Iverson Mall, and I put on my calendar. I'm like, I can't wait to go see these ladies. I'm going there, but I put it on for the wrong date. I put it on for yesterday. So I'm rushing from Iverson Mall. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to get there. I did. So I get there, and when I get there, it's all dark, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they canceled it. They didn't tell me.
No, we don't cancel.
I know. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm like, and I'm looking for my phone, and I'm like, I gotta call her. Like, where are you guys? I'm here. And then it was like, no, look at the look at the information you sent to me. So I opened it up, and I was like, Pam, go home. Go home, go to bed. I appreciate you, ladies. I'll see you next week.
Yes.
Thank you.
We still have some Crab Feast tickets available.
Yes.
It's our final Crab Feast for the season, for the year. We won't have another one until next year. So make sure if you would like to come to this Crab Feast, it's all you can eat crabs, fried chicken, all kinds of stuff.
Yum, yum, yum.
And it's really all you can eat crabs. You can get as many as you want, So if you want to, come on out, hit me up, okay, guys?
God bless you, ladies.
God bless you.
I hope you
Thank
stay
you.
for the second segment because I think this piece is going to be very informative for you as well.
Okay.
So thank you so much, and we'll
Thank
be
you,
back
Pam.
in just a minute.
Okay.
I love you, ladies.
Thank you.
I know. I love you guys. You guys are great. welcome back. Thank you so much for continuing to stay with Ellen Foundation's Unheard Voices. And you see, we kind of got a lot of stuff out here, so that's why the break was a little longer there. Thank you again to these wonderful ladies who are putting the work out in the community to make sure that we're fed, make sure that our babies are safe, make sure that our community has some place to go. Miss Wanda Washington, I met her about last year sometime.
Yeah, last year.
Yes. And her ministry was just amazing. And she's the founder of His Royal Daughters and Sons, I forgot to mention that earlier, ministries that teaches on self-defense.
Well,
Kinda, sorta.
Kinda, sorta.
Okay.
Yes.
Damsel in defense, is
Damsel,
that correct?
right, yes.
And what the FBI says, their study says 1 in 5 women are survivors of rape. And, and it's that's heartbreaking because that's
right.
a large number. So just in looking at some of the information you sent on to me, your mission, part of your mission statement says that you are not just a victim of domestic violence, but you are a conqueror, and I am who God says I am.
Yes.
So tell me some more about your ministry and how all of this, the defense piece, came into to be.
Okay, all right. So as she said, as you said, Pam, I am Wanda Washington, and I am a kingdom builder. I am a mother. I am a daughter. I'm a speaker. I'm a domestic violence advocate, and I am the founder of His Royal Daughters and Sons Ministries, and I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm an independent damsel pro. I know with damsel in defense, that's a lot going on, right? His Royal Daughters and Sons Ministry came about because I was going through a time back in 2012 to 2014 where I really just wanted to be able to tell my testimony. I went through a domestic violence situation. It was emotional. I was ashamed. And I thought it really didn't matter because it was the emotional part of it. It was that part that people can't see. Mm-hmm. That scar is going to be with me forever for the rest of my life. So I was like, okay, well, physical abuse, where people are going through that abuse, a lot of people recognize that. And so I'm like, no one's going to really believe me.
Right.
It's okay. And I'm like, I went through it in high school. No one really knew about it. So I'm like, I'll just let it sweep under the rug.
Right.
But because in this time I'm going through this, and I end up saying, I was told, and I listened to Smokey Norfolk a lot to get through this time every day. And I kept wondering, what does God say about me? And I kept hearing other people say, what does God say about you?
Right.
And
who are you?
Who are you? And and that's when he kept saying, you're my royal daughter. You're my daughter. You're royalty. You come from the bloodline of royalty. So I am his royal daughter.
Yes.
And, so I went on from there. And then, Jeremiah 29:11 says, for I know the plans that I have for you.
Yes.
His plans aren't to harm me, so he can't do anything but good.
Right.
And, and so I'm like, I'm just going to follow you. I don't know where this is going to take me, where this journey is going to lead me. I know that I want to be able to spread the word that, emotional abuse is real.
Yeah.
It's real. And like I said before, that's a scar that stays with you forever. And you're not going to get through it. But I think with the grace of God, I just take it one day at a time. And I don't want to do this life without him. I'd rather do this life with him.
So how did you incorporate the defense piece with your ministry?
Okay, well, Damsel in Defense came to me. It was brought to me because it was brought to me as a non-lethal option, and at the time, I was looking for, everyone was telling me you need to have a lethal option in your home. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. Why would I do that? And I wanted a non-lethal alternative. I wanted to be able to take somebody down and put them out a little bit, and get the safety. But I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to take them totally out because, like they're from the same line of royalty that I am. So I'm like, no, I just want to be able to just put them down for a little bit. And so Damsel in Defense came to me because we as women or as individuals, period, just as individuals, we need to put the cell phone down, pay attention to our surroundings, know what's going on at all times, and be able to, if you have to use a pepper spray, like the pepper spray we have here today, you can use the pepper spray to spray somebody in a Z pattern and get away.
And you have some right here that fits right on.
This is a hardcore pepper spray, and it's on a wallet. We try to match all of our products together because it's better layered. So people will carry their wristlet wallet by themselves, but it's also good. You have your pepper spray right here on the chain. And our wallets are RFID, which means they're infrared and no one can read the information inside the wallet. We have plenty of pockets. This is our slim wallet here, so this is nice with our hardcore pepper spray. But some of the other pepper sprays I have on the table are what we call pouch of peppers, and it's really all about what that person's preference is. Which one they would rather carry. If you have little ones around, you might want to carry the pouch of pepper because kids like shiny things and they want to see what it is. And then when the pepper spray sprays, it sprays red, and so it would mess up somebody's purse or either their wall or something. And it's the oleo resin is the highest type of pepper spray that you can get that we put into that Damsel puts into their hardcore.
Hold on one second. Hey, Ron, is it okay if she stand up? Can we get her standing up as she points to some of these things, or no? Okay, because in there. Okay. All right. So I know that you have here the state restrictions as far as the use of the pepper spray and stun gun. You got a stun gun up here?
Actually, it's in my purse.
In here?
Yes.
Okay.
This is my purse that I carry, so I carry a Sakisumi with me. This is a striking distance tool that I can use. This is all aluminum. I also carry a pepper spray with me at all times because in the state of Maryland, you're not allowed to use a stun gun.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, may I?
Yes. Yes. Now, I'm from Alexandria, Virginia, so there I can have the stun gun.
Huh.
And so, we, not just for Damsel, but we would like to get the laws changed in the state of Maryland so that is no longer an issue.
So let me ask you something.
Yes.
So let's say if you get stopped by the police, and they see you have all or just one of these items, is there something that you need to produce to say it's okay for me to carry this? Because, I mean, with things nowadays with the police and especially how they look for any little bit of something for people of color, is this okay? Do we need to register? What's the procedure on that?
With Damsel, because we have our state restrictions for stun guns and pepper sprays, we would look to make sure that none of those things are restricted in that state. Because like I said, in Maryland, I'm not supposed. You can't carry a stun gun, so I would not produce that. I would carry something like my necklace here, which is her emergency necklace. It looks like a necklace, but it has a whistle on the end, and so I can always use something like this in the state of Maryland. I frequently go between Virginia, D.C., and Maryland, so I am always cautious of where I am and what I can use. And I would make my customer aware of that as well.
You have something here on striking points.
Yes, that is our striking points locations. And the tool that I showed you earlier, the striking distance tool, that we show women. We're not self-defense instructors, but we show women how to stay safe, and we show them where the striking points are in that particular.
Now everybody will get a list of this
Yes.
On here. And what do we have here?
That is our warrior creed that we tell women that, my life is worth it.
Yes.
My life is worth protecting, and we go over that with women when I do Empower Hours. Empower Hours are home parties that we have, and I'm looking for women to have a home party and where they can earn, free or half off on their items that they're getting. And we go over the Warrior Creed, and we also have what we call Warrior Workshops, where you get a group of women together and we go over the Warrior Creed, and we also teach about our different striking points and how to spray the pepper spray as well.
Wow.
And when to spray the pepper spray, because you don't want to spray it in windy conditions, because you don't want it to fly back on yourself.
Right.
So you have to know what tool to use, when to use it, when's the best time.
And what is it? A little book over there?
We have a Damsel in Defense has a Safe Hearts collection, and where we have books for children, age appropriate, for children of all ages, that parents have to have that kid conversation with their child.
On how to be safe.
Sell the books to children. They might look at it and say, "Oh, I like it," but we don't sell it to the children without the parents' permission. We want the parent to get it, because we want the parent to have that conversation with their child, to teach them, that they are in control of their body. When their parents are not around them, they have the right to say, "No, I don't like what's going on here. I need to tell somebody." And so we have a Safe Hearts collection. We also have a few of the books that they now come in Spanish.
Good.
They're on every scenario that we have. That's just one of the books that we have. Healed Hearts, Heal Hearts, and that is on a sister who has been in a traumatic experience, and her mother and her brother are trying to get her to open up and talk and be with other people and let them know what's going on. So her brother ends up taking her to a place where there's other Safe Hearts people who can help her.
Okay, that's good stuff. Yeah. How can people get a hold of you, Ms. Wanda?
They can get a hold of me. I am at my website is www.mydamselpro.net/to-save-her. I am also on Instagram. I am Wanda Washington, and I am also on Facebook, Wanda Washington.
I really appreciate the fact that this information is very important, especially to protect us. Now, that's one thing we want to make certain, that these tools are used to protect people against someone that's out to hurt them.
Right.
It's not that we want to go out and be like, look, I'm going to be out there and I'm going to save the community, just spray everybody. So we just want to make sure that people understand that these tools, because sometimes as parents, I come home late and I'm looking around, and that slightest little noise, I'm like, what's that? And I'm ready. But for those who would feel more comfortable with these additional items, these are just to make sure that as you're out there doing the work, you're out there working, to provide for your family. Sometimes, you have to go into these areas where, where it's just kind of like, okay, you just want to be wise and protect yourself. You don't want to use these just be out there, taking care of stuff there.
Is there one thing I can get this?
You want to show this?
Yeah,
here?
I want to show. Every month, Damsel has a safety subscription where they you get a safety subscription delivered to your door. You don't know what's in the box, but it's something that's going to protect you. No, it's not something to harm you. But one of the things I like about the safety subscription is that they have a scripture here, and I will be to her a well of fire, a wall of fire all around her. And this is Zechariah 2, from Zechariah 2, verse 5. So I'm like, you get this box every month, and this is awesome to have this box delivered. They now have it where this can be also delivered to someone who just wants to sign up for the safety subscription. Mm-hmm. It's not just for independent damsel pros. And just wanted to share with you all, this month we got this phenomenal pen. It's To Whom It May Concern, and the pen is it is a silver pen. Voila. It has a pen refill in it, but it looks like a pen, but this is a striking distance tool.
Wow.
And it has a jagged edge here, so it is also a DNA collector.
Okay.
Wow. Yes. And the pen comes not only in silver, it comes in pink, rose, and also navy blue as well. So it's a great asset. Heavy pen at that. It's a great pen to have.
Well, I am glad that you're out there not only teaching us how to protect ourselves, but still doing, sharing your testimony about how you survived domestic violence and how you overcame some of the things that we as women who that we struggle with. So I applaud you for not being afraid to walk in what God has called you to do. So I do applaud you for that. One more time, Wanda, how can people reach you?
I am Wanda Washington, and you can find me at my website at www.mydamselpro.net/to-save-her, and you can also find me on Instagram at I am Wanda Washington, and I am also on Facebook as well.
I appreciate you. And I also appreciate those wonderful queens that were on our first segment. Yes. Amazing information. I really appreciate the work that everybody's doing. Zinnia and the ladies, I appreciate you guys for staying here and watching the segment. Continue to do the great work that God has called you to do. Family, thank you so much for joining Ellen Foundation's Unheard Voices every second Sunday. I know they're trying to talk me into adding some more Sundays on, but I got to find my schedule here. I appreciate you guys for always supporting the work that we do, just following us and participating in a lot of the events and the things that we're doing in the community. We have quite a few things coming up very soon. As October is fast approaching, it is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and Ellen Foundation has a 5K walk against domestic violence, where the funds that are raised, they're going to go help families of who are survivors of domestic violence, and also the funds will go towards the Aspiration House, which is a transition home that will be opening in 2018 to help families in need who are survivors of domestic violence. October 20th, Miss Tracy is doing a book signing at Iverson Mall, and you can find that information on my website, which is www.thelmfoundation.org. Family, remember, if you know someone that is in need, please do not be hesitant to dial 911. If you are in need of service, please reach out to me. You can call me directly, 240-284-6825. Again, thank you for always supporting. Oh, one last thing, Ron. What is it, next weekend? We got the Community Day here at Vox Wave. It's 4711 Off Road. What time we starting?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. So come on out and support the work that they're doing here at Vox Wave. God bless you, family. I'll see you next month, this time, second Sunday, 11:30. I appreciate you. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.